Aristotle once said, "The unexamined life is not worth living." If he saw us today, he'd probably add, "And the endlessly scrolled life is worth even less." You're not living, you're basically just a thumb with a body attached. Think about it. You've got this powerful human brain capable of writing symphonies, discovering galaxies, solving equations that would make Einstein sweat, and you're using it to refresh TikTok like a caffeinated lab monkey. Imagine dragging Plato, Socrates, and Aristotle into the modern age, showing them the miracle of the internet, the sum of all human knowledge in your pocket, and watching them witness you spend 3 straight hours watching a guy lip sync to Taylor Swift. And they'd probably walk right back into the cave and say, "Yeah, we were better off with shadows on the wall." Don't get me wrong, I'm not judging you, I'm judging all of us. Because the most dangerous habit we've picked up, and I mean the most dangerous, sneakier than smoking, deadlier than fast food, slipperier than your ex sliding into your DMs, is the habit of living numb. Not living bad, not living evil, just numb. Numb is scarier than evil. Evil at least knows it's up to something. Numb just sits there, smiling, while your life slowly leaks out. Like air from a cheap dollar store balloon. See, people think dangerous habits are the obvious ones. Smoking, drinking, cheating on your taxes. Those are amateur hour compared to the quiet assassin of your soul. Mindless avoidance. The habit of distracting yourself from reality until reality eventually distracts itself from you. And the scary part? Nobody calls you out on it because everybody's doing it. It's socially acceptable to live half asleep now. Hell, it's the norm. If you actually put your phone down, stared out the window, and thought deeply for 10 minutes, people would assume you're depressed. That's how bad it's gotten. Thinking is now a red flag. Reflection is basically suspicious behavior. Imagine Aristotle popping up on your For You page saying, "Know thyself," and you swiping past him like, "Nah, not tonight, bro. I've got a dog and sunglasses to watch." The truth is, you're probably not lazy. You're not broken. You're not even unmotivated. You're just trapped in the most seductive loop in human history. The loop of fake fulfillment. That little ding on your phone, that one you like, that meaningless notification, it's the closest thing modern life has to crack cocaine. You get a hit, your brain lights up, then it fades, and you're right back where you started. And the machine running it isn't some cartoon villain stroking a cat in a secret lair. It's just a bunch of apps, a bunch of ads, and a bunch of billionaires who figured out that if they keep you numb, they keep you paying. You don't even feel like a prisoner because the cell is comfortable, and the food delivery service shows up right at your door. Congratulations. You live in a luxury prison you built yourself, and you even leave 5-star reviews for the warden. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you were bored? Like, actually bored? No phone, no background noise, no little screen glowing at you like a needy pet. Boredom used to be the birthplace of creativity. Newton discovered gravity because he was bored, staring at an apple. You, meanwhile, get restless after 7 seconds without Wi-Fi. Boredom used to make people invent art, philosophy, entire religions. Now we treat it like a disease we have to cure with TikTok. You ever notice how insane that is? We panic if we don't have something to look at every 5 seconds, as if stillness might actually kill us. Spoiler alert, it won't. But you know what will? The habit of avoiding yourself at all costs. And the craziest part is, Aristotle called it 2,000 years ago. The unexamined life is not worth living. If he lived today, he'd probably say, the life where you spend 7 hours a day staring at your phone isn't worth living either. And you'd probably scroll right past him to watch a cat fall off a table. Which, let's be real, is exactly why your brain is turning into a bowl of mashed potatoes. Delicious maybe, but completely useless in a crisis. Here's the punch in the gut. This habit, this quiet, sneaky, unnoticed habit, isn't stealing your time. It's stealing your life. You think you're just killing time, but time isn't the one dying. You are. And not dramatically. Not with violins playing in the background. Quietly. Bit by bit. The dangerous part isn't that you waste a few hours. It's that you start losing the ability to sit with yourself. To actually face your own thoughts. That's when you become a stranger in your own life. You ever get that eerie feeling like you're watching yourself from outside your body? That's not spiritual enlightenment, buddy. That's not you leveling up into some Zen monk. That's the side effect of living so distracted you don't even feel at home in your own skin anymore. You're the tenant and the landlord. Your real self hasn't seen you in months. And here's a brutal truth nobody likes to admit. Comfort can rot you from the inside out. You don't even notice it at first because it's slow, like rust on metal. You wake up every day, hit snooze 5 times, scroll for 45 minutes in bed, and think, I'll get to life later. And later becomes weeks. Weeks become months. And one day you realize your dreams don't feel urgent anymore. They don't even feel real. Your energy feels permanently stuck in low battery mode. And the saddest part, you can't even remember the last time you felt fully alive. Not entertained, not distracted, alive. You've traded the chaos of chasing something real for the fake calm of scrolling through someone else's life. You stopped chasing your own story so you could watch someone else's edited highlight reel. It's like selling your car just so you can Uber to watch someone else drive. It's like this. Imagine your life as a movie. Right now, most people are sitting in the theater of their own existence, watching someone else's highlight reel on the big screen while their own story plays silently in the background. The popcorn's stale, the sound system sucks, but hey, you've got a good seat. And then one day, the credits roll, the lights come up, and you realize you didn't even watch your own damn movie. You just sat there holding your phone like a ticket stub to a show you never attended. That's the habit I'm talking about. The habit of living everywhere, except here, now, in your own actual life. Look, I get it. It's not your fault. You're up against a system designed to make you numb. Every notification is a little tap on the shoulder saying, don't think, don't feel, don't notice, just click. You know who benefits from that, not you. You're not the customer, you're the product. You are literally the cow, and your attention is the milk they keep milking until you're dry. And the insane part? We keep lining up to be milked because they make it feel good. That's why Zuckerberg doesn't charge you $1 for Facebook, because your scrolling eyeballs are worth way more than that. Your attention is the most expensive currency on the planet, and you've been handing it out like coupons nobody asked for. So here's the question I want you to ask yourself. What are you avoiding? Because underneath every distraction is an emotion you don't want to feel. Loneliness, anxiety, fear that you're not enough, fear that you wasted too much time already. And instead of facing it, you numb it. You scroll. You snack. You binge another episode. You convince yourself you're resting when really you're just hiding. You're not tired, you're afraid. And fear wears a hell of a good disguise. It dresses up like, I deserve a break. It puts on the mask of self-care. But deep down, you know the truth. You're not recharging. You're escaping. And the longer you escape, the more the thing you're running from grows teeth. Here's the kicker. The more you avoid the feeling, the scarier it gets. It's like letting dirty dishes pile up in the sink. At first, it's just a plate and a fork. You could knock it out in 2 minutes, but you avoid it. You distract yourself. And then suddenly, it's a mountain of crusty bowls, and you'd rather burn the house down than deal with it. That's how your emotions work, and that's how your life works. I'll tell you a secret. The most dangerous part of this habit isn't even the lost time. It's the erosion of your courage. Every time you choose numbness over presence, you shrink a little. You teach yourself, I can't handle reality without a distraction. You teach yourself that silence is dangerous, that stillness is unbearable, that your own mind is an enemy you must constantly drown out. And eventually life starts feeling too heavy, too overwhelming, too loud. You stop showing up for your own damn story. And then you wonder why you feel empty. Spoiler alert, it's because you're trying to live on crumbs of meaning when you were built for a feast. You're a lion eating Cheetos, wondering why you still feel hungry. Think about it. Your ancestors fought off lions, plagues, and freezing winters just so you could be here. Do you know how many of your great-great-great-grandparents had to not die at 23 so you could exist? Thousands of years of survival, of war, of famine, of hunting with spears. And now the biggest battle of your life is whether you can put your phone down for an hour without spiraling. Your grandma outran actual wolves, and you're sweating over a Wi-Fi outage. You're not weak, you're addicted. And addiction doesn't always look like needles or bottles. Sometimes it looks like just one more scroll. Sometimes it looks like pretending you're going to bed at midnight and then watching the sunrise with TikTok still burning a hole in your brain. Let me drop a metaphor on you. You're like a plant growing in the shade. You've got the potential to be this huge, strong tree, roots deep, branches wide, touching the sky. But you're stuck under a canopy of distractions blocking the sunlight. And the longer you stay there, the harder it is to break through. You start thinking, maybe this is all I'll ever be. Maybe I'm just a little plant that doesn't need the sun. But here's the thing. Sunlight is still out there. Growth is still possible. You're not dead, you're just covered. Covered by likes, by notifications, by endless noise that tricks you into believing shade is enough. But deep down, you know it's not. So what do? You start noticing, then that's it. You don't have to burn your phone in a dramatic bonfire or go live in a cave like some wannabe monk. You just start paying attention. When you reach for that distraction, pause. Ask yourself, what am I avoiding right now? And don't judge the answer. Don't shame yourself. Just notice it. That's how you begin to break the spell. Because the truth is, your life isn't waiting for some big dramatic moment to start. It's not waiting for a promotion or the perfect partner or some motivational speech that turns your brain into Rocky Balboa. It's happening right now. And if you don't notice it, you'll miss it. And once it's gone, you don't get a replay. Actually, pause for a second. Right now, I want you to drop a comment with just one word that describes how you feel hearing this. Not a sentence, not an essay, just one word. Scared, relieved, angry, awake. Whatever it is, put it down there. Don't overthink it. You'd be surprised how much power there is in naming what you feel. That's step one to getting out of this trance. Because the more you can name it, the less it owns you. Here's another uncomfortable truth. You can't Netflix your way out of loneliness. You can't Amazon Prime your way out of meaninglessness. You can't TikTok your way into peace of mind. You can only face yourself. And that's terrifying, I know. That's why most people never do it. But it's also where freedom starts. You know why monks can sit in silence for hours without losing their minds? Because they've stopped running from themselves. That's the training. Not shaving your head, not chanting, not wearing orange robes, just sitting there and not sprinting away from their own minds. Meanwhile, the modern world wants the exact opposite. It wants you to never stop running. Run faster, scroll harder, click quicker, keep moving. Because if you ever stop, even for a second, you might realize you've been in a cage this whole time. And cages don't work if the prisoners know they're in one. Now, I'm not here to shame you. Hell, I'm guilty too. I've lost days, weeks, months to this cycle. I've stared at the clock at 3 a.m., wondering why my brain feels like scrambled eggs. But the difference between living numb and living awake isn't about being perfect. It's about refusing to stay asleep once you realize you've dozed off. Falling asleep isn't the danger. Pretending you didn't fall asleep is the danger. That's how years disappear. That's how regret builds. And here's the crazy part. Once you start cutting through this fog, you don't just get your time back. You get yourself back. Your curiosity, your creativity, your ability to actually feel joy without needing a dopamine drip every 30 seconds. You start noticing the little things again. The way sunlight hits your desk. The sound of your own laugh. The one you forgot you had. The fact that you're alive right now against all cosmic odds. That's not small stuff, that's everything. That's the feast you were built for. And the insane part is, it was always sitting right there in front of you. You just had to look up. You ever notice how when comedians like George Carlin or Dave Chappelle hit you with the truth, it's funny but also hurts a little? That's because real truth always stings. It's not wrapped in bubble wrap. It doesn't come with a feel-good guarantee. It slaps you, then laughs with you because you needed the slap. And the truth here is this. The world doesn't need a numb version of you. Your friends don't. Your future doesn't. You don't. You're not here to be another background character in someone else's feed, quietly applauding their highlight reel while your own story collects dust. You're here to actually live your own messy, beautiful, terrifying, ridiculous life. The version where you screw up, fall down, laugh too loud, cry too hard, and somehow still get back up. That's the version worth living. So I'm going to ask you for something radical. Subscribe. Not for me, for you. Because hitting that button isn't about feeding an algorithm. It's about saying, yeah, I'm done sleepwalking. It's about building a little corner of the internet where you don't have to pretend, where you get reminded to wake up, to pay attention, to stop numbing yourself into oblivion. If you can't commit to that, you'll slip right back into the fog before you even know it. But if you can, that's the first crack in the armor. That's you picking up the hammer and saying, okay, maybe I am ready to break this cage. And listen, if nobody's told you this lately, let me be the one. You are not too late. You are not too broken. You have not wasted too much time. Stop believing that lie. The fact that you're hearing this right now means you're ready. Ready doesn't mean perfect. Ready doesn't mean fearless. Ready means you're done pretending you don't care. Ready means you're willing to notice again, to stop outsourcing your life to a glowing rectangle, to start living in your own damn movie again. Imagine this. 10 years from now, you look back and realize tonight was the night you stopped being numb. Not the night you solved everything, not the night you became some productivity god or spiritual guru, just the night you said, no more sleepwalking. The night you stopped giving away your life in little glowing rectangles and started owning it again. And here's the kicker. You won't even remember half the TikToks you saw today. But you'll remember this choice. That could be this moment, right now. Don't wait for permission. Don't wait for perfect timing. Don't wait for some mystical sign from the universe. This is the sign. It's messy. It's raw. It's not wrapped in pretty packaging. But it's real. And real is what you've been starving for. So take a deep breath, close the other tabs. For once, don't open another app the second this video ends. Just sit there for a minute. Feel the weight of being alive right now. Because the most dangerous habit isn't the one that kills you fast. It's the one that slowly convinces you you're not really alive. And I promise you, you are.